Niche.com made a list for 2023's top cities in the entire country. And guess which city came in at number 2? You guessed it, Arlington, Virginia. Why is Arlington, Virginia so great? Why do people want to live here? And more importantly, is it the right place for you? Well, let's find out. Hey everyone, this is Paul Kim with the Fast Results Group. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. Whether you're thinking about moving here to Northern Virginia or if you're transitioning within Northern Virginia, this channel is going to cover anything and everything about living here in Northern Virginia. So if that sounds like something that will be helpful to you, be sure to like this video and subscribe. And hopefully you'll enjoy the content that's coming and it will help you as you make decisions moving forward about what you're looking for here in Northern Virginia. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Arlington, Virginia. Why is it such a great city? Why does Niche.com rank it at number 2? In today's video, we're going to break down Arlington into 6 pros, 3 cons, 3 unique things to do here in Arlington, Virginia. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to give you 2 bonus pieces of information about Arlington, Virginia that you probably won't hear anywhere else. So make sure you stick around to the end. Pro number 1, the reason why people love Arlington, Virginia is because of its close proximity to Washington, D.C. Because of the location next to DC, but outside of it, you get to have some of that city feel without actually being within the city. So Arlington's proximity to DC provides residents with access to a wide range of employment opportunities, which we'll talk about. And generally speaking, the Washington metropolitan area has a diverse job market, again, because the location is close to the government. There's a bunch of technology, consulting, defense, and contracting companies that are nearby. It's very central to your airports if you like to travel and if you need to get to different places. Dulles International Airport is just a short 20-25 minutes away, depending on where in Arlington you are. And DCA, which is Reagan International, that airport is actually much closer and can be as short as 5 to 10 minutes depending on where specifically in Arlington you reside. Pro number 2 is going to be the diverse neighborhoods in Arlington, Virginia. There are so many different neighborhoods within Arlington, and again, it's just so diverse. Regardless of who you are or what kind of feel and vibe you like, you're going to be able to find the right place for you. Pro number 3 is job opportunities. Being in Arlington means that there are a plethora of different job opportunities for you or for your family, whoever needs a job out in this area. The job market here benefits from its proximity to DC. The government sector obviously is incredibly significant, being next to DC, which is the capital of the entire country. And the area is becoming a hub for tech companies as well as defense contractors. Pro number 4 is education. In Arlington, Virginia, you're going to find a top-notch public education system. The schools consistently rank well. They had a high graduation rate, and many of its schools receive high ratings as well. And if you're not into public school, you're more interested in the private, there are a bunch of reputable private schools in the area too. Not going to go through the whole list of schools here because there are so many, but if you are interested in which neighborhood is correlated with which school district, feel free to reach out and I'll give you all the details that you need. Pro number 5 is that there are a ton of cultural and recreational activities in Arlington, Virginia. Throughout the entire year, Arlington is going to offer a bunch of cultural events where you can experience different cultures, different lifestyles, ultimately just learn a lot and be exposed to different kinds of things. There are theaters like the Signature Theater and numerous parks all throughout Arlington. The county itself has over 150 miles of multi-use trails. So if you enjoy being outside, going for walks, running, if you have a pet who likes to be outside, if you have kids, 150 miles of multi-use trails. That includes the famous Mount Vernon Trail, and you also have the WNOD Trail going through Arlington as well. And last but not least, pro number 6 is Arlington has a wonderful and convenient public transportation system. If you do not like to drive, if you don't want to be stuck in traffic from time to time, which we'll talk about a little bit later, public transportation is going to be incredibly important to you. So let me give you some of these details. Maybe the most common method of public transportation here in Arlington is going to be the Washington Metro. In Arlington, that's going to include the Blue Line, Orange Line, Silver, as well as Yellow lines. There are 11 metro stations in Arlington, so as you can tell, it's going to stop in a lot of different places. There is a great potential to actually bike and walk. Tons of bike trails, like we mentioned before, there's 150. Multi-use trails that go about in Arlington as well. Some of it's for recreational, some of it's for transportation. You're going to see those bike lanes set up on the roads as well. So while cars are going through, you have a little safe area for biking and transportation that way. You have the W and OD trail, like I mentioned before, it goes all the way from Arlington to Percival. It's a long trail, and if it happens to go across where you're trying to commute to, biking and using that trail is incredibly convenient also. DC area's regional bus system has numerous routes in Arlington, and so sometimes when the metro doesn't go to where you want to go, the bus will take you there instead. Arlington is extremely bike friendly. It has over 100 miles of multi-use trails. You have on-street bike lanes as well as designated bike routes where only bikes can travel. And if you're visiting, you can go to the Capitol Bike Share to check out bicycles at more than 400 stations in the entire region of Arlington. Finally, in terms of walkability, the Pedestrian and Bicycle Information Center named Arlington a gold level walk-friendly community. And thus, it's easy to navigate on foot. Just gotta walk to wherever you wanna go. So Arlington sounds great. What are some of the negatives to living in this area? Because it can't be that perfect, right? So let's talk about the 3 cons of living in Arlington. Number 1 is going to be cost of living. Arlington's cost of living is relatively high compared to a lot of different cities and neighborhoods within Northern Virginia. Generally speaking, the closer you get to Washington, D.C., the more expensive everything is going to be. The housing costs will be higher, gas will probably be more expensive. Depending on where you shop for groceries, you may see a little bit of higher prices there as well. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is sometimes. When you want to live at the number 2 city in the entire country, that means other people want to live there too. When there is high demand, oftentimes that means that the prices for most everything is going to be a little higher. The number 2 con here in the DC area, particularly in Arlington, because of its close proximity to DC, is that oftentimes you'll find that the population is pretty transient. There's going to be a lot of people going in and out. Sometimes you're here for a short term, just a couple of years. They come here for a job and they leave. And for those of you guys who are looking for more long-term connections and deeper connections with the people that come to this area, it might be a little bit hard if the people around you are just coming and going every 2-3 years. If you don't mind that so much and you're a transient yourself, then Arlington might be the place for you. And the last con is actually a 3-part con, but all 3 pieces stem from the same source, which is simply that there are a lot of people in the area. One problem that presents is that there is a lot of traffic. Arlington probably is one of the more congested areas, even within the already congested Northern Virginia area. Especially during rush hours when people are driving into DC and coming back from their work, you're going to find traffic. Now the thing is, if you're in Arlington, you're thinking about the people that live in Arlington driving back and forth from DC. But because Arlington is also in a position where you have to drive through it to get further west, you're going to run into those commuters as well. So if you have basically all of Northern Virginia going back and forth between DC, then you're going to have a lot of cars. The good thing is there are ways to avoid that traffic because Arlington is set up so well for public transportation. So as long as you're equipped with the knowledge on how to get to where you want to go and come back without necessarily driving your own personal car and being stuck in traffic, it's a con, but it's avoidable. Another potential downside of having too many people in one area is that the public areas also get very congested, especially on weekends when there are events happening. Popular areas like Clarendon and Ballston, where people are always going out to do things, especially when the weather gets nice and you're enjoying being outdoors, is going to be crowded. But that being said, if there's a lot of people outside doing things, it just means that there's a vibrant social scene that people like to just go out and enjoy each other's company. So if you don't like crowds, it's kind of a negative, but if you're okay being around a lot of people and enjoying life together, again, this may be the place for you. Last but not least, to round out the negatives of living in Arlington is that there is a competitive job market. So while there is an abundance of job opportunities, the job market itself can be very competitive, especially in industries such as tech and government contracting, because that's why everybody's coming here. The competitive nature may require individuals to have strong skills and experience to secure desirable positions. Now let's talk about some of these unique things to do in Arlington, Virginia. I'm only going to name 3 for today. The first one is to play broomball at the Iceplex. If you're not sure what broomball is, that's where you are on an ice rink where they play hockey. Instead of wearing ice skates and using a puck and a hockey stick, you're actually running around out there with your shoes, using a ball, and actually using a broom as a hockey stick. So you can coordinate your own broomball event on the ice at MedStar Capital's Iceplex, and this is where the Capitals actually practice. Put your sneakers on, layer up for the cold ice rink, play broomball like hockey, but with sneakers. Number 2 thing to do is for you climbers out there. Movement Climbing Gym here in Arlington, Virginia is one of the best climbing gyms ever. Let me just show you some footage so you can see what it's like. And the third is not so much of a unique activity, but it's a unique place where you can do multiple activities, such as you can set up an Iron Chef style cooking competition at Cookology. If you're a singer and you enjoy hanging out with your friends while singing, you can go out and have fun with a karaoke contest at Punch Bowl Social in Ballston Quarter. And last but not least, you can grab a bunch of people to think as a team at high-tech 5 Wits escape room and do what you can to bust out of that escape room. Okay, we made it to this part. 2 bonus facts about Arlington, Virginia that you probably haven't heard anywhere else. However, it may have an impact on the way that you view Arlington, Virginia as a whole. The first one is that Arlington is an incredibly sustainable city. Arlington County's Community Energy Plan, otherwise known as the CEP, will set the destination on a path to becoming completely carbon neutral by 2050. Some of the plan's goals include 100% of Arlington's electricity will be from renewable sources by 2035. Amazing. Arlington County government operations will achieve 100% renewable electricity by 2025. And energy equity will be considered during the implementation of the plan. And here's the cool part. Even right now, county operations now run entirely on renewable energy. In January 2023, Arlington actually announced that it achieved its goal of 100% renewable electricity use at all county facilities, which is actually 2 years ahead of schedule. The facilities include county-owned buildings, streetlights, traffic lights, lease facilities, and the water pollution control plant. These sites are now working off of electricity from sustainable sources, including Dominion Energy Virginia's Green Power Program options for residences and businesses, on-site solar installations at county facilities, and the Maplewood Solar Project in Pittsylvania County, which supplies more than 80% of renewable energy to Arlington facilities through offsets. And bonus fact number 2 is the high level of accessibility in Arlington, Virginia. Arlington embraces the ADA goal of true inclusion to ensure that Americans with and without disabilities increasingly live, learn, work, play, and contribute side by side. It's renowned for its commitment to careful and thoughtful community planning, its incredible array of public transportation options, which we talked about already, and the richness of its cultural and natural resources. And overall, you're going to find that these themes are reflected in the attention to accessibility that visitors as well as residents experience through Arlington's neighborhoods and businesses. Additionally, you'll find that accessibility is a primary consideration for new buildings in Arlington, and a special transit accessibility subcommittee actually routinely looks at the public transportation to ensure ease of access for riders. So as you can tell, they take accessibility very seriously, again, regardless of who you are. In today's video, we kind of flew through a lot of the details of what Arlington, Virginia is like, but I did want to give you a bird's eye perspective of what Arlington, Virginia is actually like. So that's Arlington, Virginia, the number 2 city in the entire country in a nutshell. I know today's video, we kind of took a bird's eye perspective of what Arlington, Virginia is like, and we didn't get too nitty-gritty into the details. But if you have any questions about any of those details, whether you're thinking about moving here, or if you're already in Northern Virginia and you want to learn more about Arlington, thinking about moving to the Arlington area, or if you have any questions about Northern Virginia in general, as always, feel free to reach out to me, call, text, email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and my team and I will be honored to serve you in whatever ways that you need. Let's start a conversation. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.